Hey guys, Savannah Bell here with My Massage World, and while these videos I do are usually geared toward therapists who are trying to grow a business, today's video is directed more so at those who are either thinking about going to massage school, you're in massage school, or you just got out of school and you're starting out in the field. So tag a friend in the comments who might need to hear this, because today I am going to tell you all the crap that your massage school won't, or at least what most massage schools won't tell you. Let me first say that there are absolutely wonderful schools out there who really are in it for the right reasons and who want to make sure that their students have realistic expectations when they graduate. But unfortunately, there seems to be a lot who don't, so that's where I come in here today. I am not trying to crash anyone's dreams or talk you out of pursuing the awesomeness that is this profession, because I freaking love it, and thankfully I've been pretty damn successful at it. But it was also a very large learning curve those first few years, as I was thrust into reality from this dreamy little wonderland that had been painted for me by the school I attended. So here's the top 6 things that your school won't tell you but you need to know. Number 1, this is not an easy job. While it's often made out to be some super relaxing thing by some schools, and oftentimes by the general public, like, oh, we're just rubbing on people all day. Yeah, no, it's not how it works. Physically, mentally, and emotionally, this job can be quite stressful. So you better know how to handle stress, how to cope with it, and keep going without letting it get to you. You've got people who are coming in who are in pain, and oftentimes you're their last resort. No pressure there. You've got the physical demand of using your fingers and hands and arms in a way that is often really hard on your body, even with good body mechanics. You may work for an establishment that only gives you like 5 minutes in between clients, so you get absolutely zero time to take care of yourself, to stretch and let your body recover in between clients after an intense session, whatever. You can have people who push your boundaries, and you gotta know how to handle that. And if you're self-employed, holy cow. We'll talk more about that in just a minute, but that can be its own set of stresses. Plus, you know how hairstylists will often comment about how people will share their life stories with them while they're in that chair? Well, just imagine how much more in depth they go in a private room where no one else can hear them, and they know by law it has to be confidential. You'll hear some of people's deepest secrets, and you have to be able to process those things and leave them there. Sometimes you refer people to mental health professionals when needed because there's plenty of things that are far out of our scope of practice. And depending on your work environment, you may even lose clients. I know I've lost some cancer patients who were longtime regular clients, and that is really freaking hard. And while, yes, the vast majority of your job may be somewhat relaxing, or at least you're in a relaxing setting, there are a unique set of stresses that we all experience as massage therapists. It is no reason to run away from the profession, but just be prepared. Number 2, according to AMTA, the average career span for massage therapists is only about 7 years. While there are plenty of therapists out there who last 20 or 30 years in this profession, for most graduates, that is not the case. Whether it's because of repetitive strain injuries, because of that whole, physically demanding part of the job, or burnout, or any other number of reasons. There are a ton of people who don't last in this profession. I've seen plenty who graduate from massage school and hardly even give their career a shot. They start their career and they either injure themselves, oftentimes from poor body mechanics, or it's not all rainbows and unicorns like they thought it would be, and they're not millionaires within 6 months, so they quit and start looking for something else. And if you've been in the field for a while and you're watching this, I would like to know how many were in your graduating class and how many are still practicing. I think out of my class, only about half of us are still practicing massage therapists 10 years later. Number 3, you will not make $60 to $100 an hour. This is a common one to hear on school ads. Become a massage therapist and make $60 to $100 an hour. And people buy into it every single day. They do the math and they think, if I'm charging $100 an hour and I work 40 hours a week and I work 50 weeks out of the year, holy crap, I'm going to make $200,000 after only 6 months of school. Woohoo! Okay, here's the thing. While yes, you can charge $60 to $100 an hour for a massage, you're not making $60 to $100 an hour. There's 2 major issues with this claim. First, when you're self-employed, there's always overhead. You can charge whatever you want, but your clients have to be willing to pay for it, of course, and you've got expenses. Your rent and general bills on an office, your supplies, laundry, which is never ending, by the way, paying a lawyer and an accountant to set up your business and handle all the legal and financial issues that come with being a business owner, your marketing efforts, the list goes on and on and on. And secondly, you can only see so many clients in a day. While you can see 8 or 9 clients in a day at whatever rate you decide, most therapists cannot sustain that type of workload for very long. I've done it, and it is a quick way to burn out and injure yourself. While everybody has a different opinion on this, and feel free to share that in the comments, it seems most therapists don't recommend seeing more than 6 clients in a day. Plus, you'll need that extra time to take care of all the business side of things like marketing and bookkeeping and cleaning and things like that. So, depending on your setup, you may not even want 6 clients a day. You may just want to do 4 or 5. While there are plenty of therapists out there who break that 6-figure ceiling, and it is definitely achievable for many if you implement certain practices well, it is not a given. In fact, the average annual income of a massage therapist is less than $50,000. AMTA says it's a little over $25,000, and the Bureau of Labor Statistics says it's almost $40,000. Don't know who's right here. But keep in mind, these averages take into account all those who only see clients part-time, or they keep their license up but aren't actually seeing clients, which happens far more than you would think, by the way. But the point is, while yes, you can make a decent living in this profession, and with the right work ethic and mindset and plans in place, you can far surpass that and make a fantastic living in this profession. Understand that, especially starting out, it is not going to be nearly as lucrative as you might hear, especially if you're working for yourself. It can take a couple years to really get your clientele steady and your income stabilized at a point where you're happy with it. And remember, that $60 to $100 an hour massage means very different things in different areas. $100 an hour in New York City is nothing compared to $100 an hour where I'm located in little old East Tennessee, right? So take that into consideration anytime you hear someone talking about cost and income. Number 4, your school may have only prepped you to work in chains or large corporate spas. Were you trained in the 50-minute hour massage tactic with only like 5 minutes, maybe 15 max between clients to change everything over and get your next client on the table? Yeah, you were trained specifically to work in a chain. And a ton of schools are partnering up with these massage chains like Massage Envy and Hand and Stone and others to prepare students to work for them. And there's nothing wrong with working for a chain if that's what you want. Nothing against chains. Well, I have a little bit against them, but I'm not anti-chain. Some people thrive in that environment and stay there long term. More power to you, okay? But that is not the right setup for most therapists, and you should be trained and exposed to all of the options out there. Those massage chains or corporate spas want as many people through the door as possible. So that's your job when you work there. Give them a massage, get them out. It's not to build rapport. It is not to assess and design a treatment plan and things like that, which takes a ton of time off the table. It's to get them in and get them out. And again, that's fine for some therapists and for some clients, but it is definitely not for everyone. So learn how to do a true 60-minute or 90-minute massage, please. I'm not sure what education these people had, but I'm pretty sure that there's 60 minutes in an hour, not 50. And yes, before someone makes a snide remark, I'm well aware of the intake and checkout process being included in that hour. But I just think that that's kind of garbage because clients often aren't getting what they think they are. But anyway, off my soapbox. Get out there and talk to therapists in a variety of settings, okay? While you may like the idea of being an employee at a chain for security purposes, you go in, you do your job, and that's it. Go talk to therapists who are working alongside physical therapists or chiropractors, or who are self-employed, those who are in a spa setting and those who are in a clinical setting, those who practice oncology massage and those who do prenatal, those who do cupping and those who do sports massage, whatever. Get as much insight as you can to see what avenues you want to pursue in this career, not just what you've been trained to do. Don't let your education limit you. You are going to need to educate yourself. And that brings me to number 5. You will need a crap ton of continuing education to really know what you're doing. So the average requirement in the US for massage education is about 500 hours. Some places it's 750, some it's 1,000, and some it's even 1,500 or more, which is awesome. But the vast majority of us only get about 500 hours of initial training. That's not enough, period. It's just not. Having taught a 500-hour program too, there is hardly enough time to get students to memorize the information, much less really understand it and be able to apply it with critical thinking skills. Schools are designed to get the information in your head that will help you to pass the national exam. Oh, and help you give a decent massage while you're at it. And while some people are born with a gift for the art of massage, for others, it can take a long time to develop the skills needed. So in those precious first few years, Take as much continuing education as possible. If you've not started school yet, or even if you're in school and you can put back some money, take into account the amount that you're going to need to invest in quality classes when you graduate. Massage school isn't it. There's a whole world of continuing education classes out there that can fine-tune your skills, get you more specialized in certain areas like medical massage or oncology massage or prenatal massage or whatever your little heart desires. I cannot stress this enough. Take as many classes as you can so that you can be more able and more confident in what you can offer your clients. Number 6, you need to learn business skills right freaking now. If you are even thinking about opening your own business, even if that's years in the future, start learning business skills now. The sooner you learn some business basics, the better off you're going to be. According to the AMTA, about 76% of therapists are sole proprietors, and I would dare to guess that the vast majority of those therapists had very little, if any, business education before opening their business. It's often only learned as part of some desperate attempt to save a struggling massage practice, which is just sucks. But if you know this stuff before you ever open the doors, you'll save yourself a ton of stress, time, and money. Now, some schools do a great job in teaching business, but many are lacking quite a bit. Even if you think your school is doing a good job, talk to graduates who have opened their own business and see how prepared they felt. What was it like when they started, and what do they wish that they would have known going into it? Even if the school does a great job, there may be some areas that it's lacking, and you can learn that stuff early on by yourself to skip that whole trial and error process. Whether it's a recognized continuing education class or just some random classes that you decide to take on Udemy or Coursera or freaking YouTube if you want, start learning all that you can about business. It is one of the least covered areas in massage education, but it is so freaking vital to your success if you ever want to strike out on your own. So there you have it, the top 6 things your school won't tell you but you needed to hear. Now, please understand, I am not saying any of this to deter people from pursuing the profession or make you feel like success is unattainable or it's just going to be so difficult it's not worth it. Quite the opposite. I want every therapist who comes out of school to be successful, but that's not going to happen as long as people are being duped by schools who don't set realistic expectations about the profession for their students. So if your school covered all of this and you felt fully prepared for the reality of being a massage therapist, please comment below with a school name and location so that therapists in your area can see who really is in this for the good of their students and where they can go for a great education in all aspects. Let me know what you think in the comments, and be sure to share this with your friends and colleagues who may need to hear it. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, please check us out at mymassageworld.com, like our Facebook page, subscribe to us on YouTube, and stay tuned for more videos.